Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
What is
Good
it?
morning, Huntsville.
Good morning, Kay. Ooh, the weather outside is not like Fargo,
Thank goodness.
but it's still cold enough to start an embargo. There's really no place to go.
Don't let it snow.
Please don't let it snow. We don't know. Don't ya know? Welcome in. Little Christmas spirit here this morning.
Is that what that was?
Kay has Christmas socks on.
She does.
Kay, I've never seen your socks before.
She doesn't usually wear socks.
Kay, I love that. Congratulations on a little Christmas spirit.
I don't have Christmas. I've got white socks.
You do. You have Christmas spirit.
I've always had Christmas spirit. I have Christmas spirit in July.
Oh, it is a wonderful, beautiful. I'm so happy to see y'all.
Are you?
I just had this burst of joy come over me for some. It was when I saw your socks, Kay. Literally, you don't think I'm being some weird dude, but
Yeah, because 2 seconds ago you were complaining, so.
yeah. And I was complaining because I posted a comment yesterday. If you're complaining, you're not praising.
Right.
I definitely wasn't praising. I was complaining about Facebook. Another update, wonderful update for my Android phone and my custom keyboard. I go to comment. Now the comments slide below the keyboard. Can't even read what I type. So now it's
That ought to be exciting.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. It's wonderful. Do you ever send text messages, voice to text? Do you do that?
It's very interesting.
And then
I do.
and it messes it up.
A lot of times I get a text from her and I have to call her and say, what did this mean?
It's like,
Can you not double check your text before you send it to me?
The sad thing is even when I type them, it does so.
I'm
It
starting.
changes words for me.
I feel bad about saying this, but I get a little lazy now because of it, and I'll just go ahead and send it. I was like, I really don't feel like having to go through and tap and do all that, so I'll just send it anyways. And then the perfect example is it always misspells Caden and Braylon. It'll say Braylon and Kaden every time. When I do voice to text, it doesn't understand, even though I've corrected it a million times. I thought Google was smarter than this, but it apparently not. I'm complaining, not praising.
You should be praising the fact that you can actually do that.
Yeah, just I was like, why don't you just learn?
Why don't you just spell it? If it concerns you so
Well,
much,
it's voice to text, and then I got to go back and like scroll up and tap, and so I just send it anyways now. I'm like, whatever.
I want to send R-O-B.
Yeah, it may do that and then space it out.
It might. It probably would.
It may.
I'd have a little B, B-E-E, and
I wonder if it does that.
O-O-H, and
I wonder if it does that.
I don't know.
BRAELYN. Yeah, see, it spaces it. But at least it's there, right? Anyways, welcome in. Episode 411 today.
411?
411. I wonder if you...
That's a number you call, right?
Yeah, 411.
If you want to... That's the information number.
Hey, yeah, do you remember that phrase? Kay, what's the 411 lately? What's the 411? Do you remember that?
She doesn't, but I do.
not that.
All right, so Rick, so pick up what we're putting down since Rick and I are on the wavelength right now. Ready, Rick?
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, what's the 411?
Oh, man, everything's going on. So much.
That's it. The 411 is like what's happening, what's up in your world, what's going on. And back in the day, you would dial 411 for assistance on your phone.
Yeah.
I guess do you remember when the people used to call the operator?
Yeah.
That I remember.
I didn't use the phone too much. I don't remember. I remember hearing my parents do it.
It felt like you were in this like foreign territory when you would hit 0 and someone else would pick up that wasn't someone that you knew. It was so weird. I remember hitting 0 and there's a lady there that would always answer, "Hi, operator, how can I help you?" It was so weird. It's just this foreign territory.
Well, actually, if you go to the hotel and pick up the phone and hit 0, the same thing happens.
Well, but I don't know. It's just weird. I'm just thinking about when I was a child and my brother and I and our friend Craig is my brother. Okay, here's the deal. It was my brother's friend, but I like to pretend it was my friend, because I didn't have any friends growing up. So I would
sorry to hear
I'd piggyback on my brother's friends. So it was really his friend. But Craig, my brother, and me would do random. We knew that the area code was 512, just like here's 936. We knew the prefix at the time was only one number. It was 863. Like here, it's what's the one here? I don't know what the prefix is. It's 936 what? What's
438 for cell phones.
So 438. I wonder what the landline is here. I never thought about this.
So 435, 439.
One of those is it?
There's a couple others.
So see, the landscape has changed over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it used to just be here's your area code,
and then here's the prefix.
And the prefix, and everybody had pretty much the same prefix in a town. Well, when we were growing up, it was 863. If you had 869, you were a little more distinct. I remember that. And then if you had 818, you were big time. It was like you knew, oh, you have 818.
I can remember when they had a word in front of it.
JL5.
No.
555.
Ours was Drake.
Drake was your number.
Drake 8198.
Sounds like a rap song. Drake 8198. Well, what I was getting at is my brother Craig and I used to dial 512, and then we'd dial 863, and then the last 4 we just make it up. And we do that we sit there for hours doing that and just call people. "Oh, how are you?" We were like 10 years old, pranking people when we were little kids. It was fun.
Sure it was.
It's better than people, what do they call it, ding-dong ditch, where you go and knock on someone's door and run off. Did you ever do that?
We did. I did that on May Day. On May 1st, we had a lilac bush and a baby's breath bush, and I would make...
Baby's breath? Mm-hmm. That thing stink.
And I would make little baskets out of
They have
paper.
little tiny flowers.
And put them in the basket, and then I'd go ring the doorbell and run off to the
She left the basket, though.
widows that lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's sweet.
And you deliver flowers on May Day.
Did any of them ever find out that you were the one doing
they
it?
knew.
That's
cool,
cool,
I was
though.
over at their house about every day anyway. When I was a child, I went and visited different widows pretty much every day of the week. There were about 4 or 5 in our neighborhood, and I would go. One taught me how to crochet. One taught me how to knit. One taught me cross stitch. One talked about her birds all the time. She drove me nuts.
Pretty boy, Petey. You know what that is, Rick?
Yes, I do.
Did you ever see that, Kay, from, what was that, Dumb and Dumber? And it's the poor blind boy, and the bird's head comes off, and they tape it back with electrical tape. And he's sitting there petting it going, "Pretty boy, Petey." Anyways, Kay, sorry. You always stir up good memories for me.
sick, psychotic memories, but okay.
Thank you, Petey.
So you would just chat with these different widows in the neighborhood, and that's so wonderful.
That was
She would
fun.
do sweet things like that. I'd just play football in the street.
How old were you?
Oh, I did it in elementary school.
So this brings up a
In the
good
summer.
point, Kate. My mother would always ask us, and she would tell us, hey, y'all need to come up to the nursing home and see this resident, because a lot of the residents didn't have family members. And I was so, when you're like a little child, you're like, man, I really don't want to go up there. But as you start to get older, you want to go up there. You understand the importance of being around people that don't have anybody. You brought up something that, I think would be good to research, and you may have some knowledge on this. As a young person, that starts to define kind of your character as you grow older, being involved and talking to these people. What experiences from you doing that when you were younger? What are some things that you noticed as you got older, maybe from that?
Well, I always considered now I consider myself an old child, because the other children in my
I thought you called Rick an old child.
Well, I was the youngest in my class. I graduated when I was 17. And so I've always been the baby of the class. But in a lot of ways, I was always older acting. And I don't know if I was older acting because my brother was 5.5 years older than me. And, I tried to emulate him as much as possible. And then I would go spend time with the elderly folks and things like that. But I always had more seriousness, and I went and had fun and climbed trees and things like that, rode my bicycle and different things, but I just connected with adults a lot better than sometimes people my own age.
That's interesting that you say that, because it's starting to make me think of entrepreneurs. And you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, Rick is an entrepreneur.
No, I'm not. I'm a follower.
He's a follower. But I think about this though. When I was young, I was the same way. I didn't really talk to anybody, at my school. In fact, now I talk to more people now that I graduated with than when I was in school. It's weird. I just didn't really connect with anyone in my own grade. But I would always talk to the teachers, and I would go spend lunch with the nurse. I enjoyed being around the upper class versus, not anything against my own class. I remember as a sophomore in high school, I was scared out of my mind because I was like, I don't have any friends. I don't know what to do. And there was these guys that would always post up. We call it post up. They'd post up on the wall in the morning. I forgot about that phrase. They'd post up. And what does that mean? Just stand there, right? And they'd put their one foot on the ground. They'd kick one foot up and put it on the wall, if that makes sense. So you kind of stand with your back against the wall, and it was a brick wall. And I'll never forget all that brick along
Probably
that.
one hand on a hip.
Yeah, all that brick was always dirty because those guys put their feet there. I say everyone, there's like 3 guys. I remember one day I just came up and I just kind of stood there beside him, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't really talk to anybody. And I'll never forget his name, Billy Clincata. Billy Clincata said, hey, man, why don't you come hang out with us? And he wasn't trying to be some bad dude and, you hear about being a bad person and trying to give a young kid booze or something he shouldn't have. He was just a nice guy. And Billy was like, yeah, hang out with us, man. And it was him and a guy named David Gibson and Billy Clincata. And they'd let me hang out with them. And I would just stand there with them, and we'd just post up and just walk, just kind of talk and watch people walk by in the hall. And we did that every morning. And it kind of made me have an appreciation for older people, I guess you could say. Because I was a sophomore, and here were these seniors that were embracing me. And here's the really cool part of the story. As we fast forward, I meet Bridget's brother Blake, and Blake's best friend is a guy named Brandon Clincata. Well, guess who Brandon is? It's Billy's brother. I never knew he had a brother. And so that whole circle 15 years later came back, which is kind of cool. But I'm starting to think maybe, people, it'd be a good study to find out, folks who are interested in business and running business, who did they surround themselves with when they were growing up? Were they around adults? Were they around people their own age? That would be something interesting to look into. Never know. Well, we are here. Welcome in episode 411 as we get rolling this morning. Big shout out, Paulie, the gallery, for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. It's Paul Oley. Also, a big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com. 'Tis the season for a nice ring, a nice necklace. Go see my good friend Elliot Herzlich. Again, their website, elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, we could not be here on this very wonderful Wednesday, sometimes a wacky Wednesday, depends on where Rick and I go. But a wacky, wonderful Wednesday today. And we're all kind of wearing the same shade today, if you will. So we are
got
here.
your act together.
I have noticed
Working
that
on it.
more often than not, we wear green on Wednesday, and I don't know why.
I need to bring the green screen.
This was Christmassy.
Oh, well,
I
we
was
usually
trying
wear
to be
this.
Christmassy.
It's Christmassy.
We have red.
Yeah, well, you got it.
It's in the dirty clothes.
Oh,
But
we
we
wore
are.
it Monday.
You got to wash it. You got to wash it and then wear it, Rick.
yeah. I'm in charge of laundry, so that was a dig.
I did mess up, though. You remember last
No,
week?
we only wore it Monday, so.
I messed up. Last week I wore jeans. And if I would have wore jeans, we'd really be on cue today. I did, in thinking of you guys. But we are here with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Hey, friends, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Braylon goes over to a location off Old Houston Road. Caden is over at the academy. Now we've had the full experience, and you guys are doing an incredible job. I dropped Caden off in the morning a little bit after 6:30, and then I head over and dropped Braylon off across town. I would like to put Braylon over at the academy, but the problem is, and it's a good problem, she loves her teachers and she loves the kids, and I'm like, parents have to make sacrifices, and so it's definitely not a big deal. Huntsville's anywhere you go is 10 minutes anyways, but that's our routine now. And Veterans Memorial's right on the backside of Elkin, so I just come down, drop off Caden, and then hop over, go across the highway, drop off Braylon, and then I pick up Sweet Molly here at church, and then I come into church every morning. But I'm going to tell you, we have just had such an incredible experience. Caden, he's been there a little over a week now at the academy. He's doing wonderful. This morning was the first morning that he did not cry because he's getting used to where he's at now, and he reached out for Miss Sophia. And that's the moment that I'm like, well, fine, see you later, dude. Didn't even look at me when I left. Didn't cry. Kind of broke my heart a little bit, Kay. So, that's how good of a job y'all do. I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, part of it's
Kinda-
how you drop off, too. If you're like, and.
I do that. I'm like, oh, Bubba, please. And I turn around and I put fake tears in my eye. And I'm like, Bubba.
But, if you're comfortable dropping them off, then they pick up on that.
I was worried yesterday. I drove in. I mentioned a little bit about it on the show yesterday. And by the way, thanks. Rick came by and hung out with us yesterday for a while.
I told her I dropped in.
Caden decided right at that stop sign, before you do the U-turn and drop off there on Veterans Memorial, where the academy is, Caden coughed, and it was one of those slurpy coughs. Does that make sense, Rick?
Oh, yeah, I do that now.
Not only did that little muffin come up, but all that yogurt that he had just drank came up, and it was a very fun, entertaining morning. I should have brought him inside. I mean, it was a little chilly, but I think he's warm-blooded like me. He's warm-natured like me. He doesn't get cold very easy. Like Braylon, I know she'll start shaking. Caden's like wanting to take his clothes off. It's 80. If it's
he's sweating and she's freezing.
Yeah, it's 60 degrees and he's sweating. He wants his shirt off. And so I was like, well, I don't really want to take him in and change him. I don't want to change him in this. I guess I could have changed him in the seat because it was already bad. But I just put the tailgate down and changed him. And he's laughing. I'm like, yeah, buddy, thanks. But, yeah, it was a fun morning. And, Kay, earlier I gave you some wisdom that you were probably thinking, that's the dumbest wisdom I've ever heard. I said, whenever you go to your next job interview, you ask the employer, as a prospective, as an interviewee, you ask the employer, one of the questions when they ask you, do you have any questions for us? Yes, do you have a washer and a dryer? It's very important that your employer has a washer and a dryer so you can wash clothes as needed.
Every location has a washer and dryer.
And see, I should just cleaned off the chunks and probably just let y'all but I did. I took care of it. I had to wash off the car seat. I did it here at church. We have a washer and dryer. And so everything worked out great. But, man, it was the third day or the
I don't know, running around your underwear outside might be a little chilly.
It was the third time he's ridden in his new car seat. Brand new car seat, third time, and already broke it in.
Well, there you go. It's broken in.
It was broken in. And those things are getting more and more difficult to take apart and clean. Like the little one we had for Braylon when we first, it was easy. It was like 2 straps, boom, boom, you're done. This thing had like 6 different connections. I was like, man, do I need a screwdriver to take this thing apart to get to it?
That's where you should have had a child in the 80s, like I did.
No car seat, right?
No car seat.
When did that law come about? Because I remember as a child, I never rode in a car seat. In fact, I remember my mom holding me everywhere that we went. I specifically remember sitting in her
riding
lap.
on the back deck.
Yeah.
You had a sedan.
1973, it was mandated all cars have seatbelts in them.
And I remember helping put my
And I
son in my
remember-
dad's car.
I remember it was the 80s when it was made a law. I don't remember which year in the 80s that made a law for you to wear a seatbelt. And I remember reading about people being upset about their freedoms being taken away from them and big uproar because, they'd get a ticket if they didn't wear their seatbelt.
1985, when car seats became man. I wonder what the first child car seat looked like. That thing had to be annoying. Like, probably dangerous, too. Think about the first of everything. The first of everything is usually really dangerous.
I'm sure there's a picture on the internet somewhere.
That's it, 1985. Well, we broke the law because I remember as a child riding. We had an F100, and this particular F100 wasn't a 150, it was an F100 single cab. And if you can imagine that in a family of 5.
I can.
My dad would drive. My mom didn't drive. My dad drove. Mom would sit on the other side, brother and sister in the middle, and I would sit in Mom's lap. And we'd go 3 hours to South Texas that way. And I'd ride on my mom's lap the entire way. Oh, go ahead.
We had an El Camino.
Oh, cool.
And
I could see you driving
was
an El Camino. Like
my
revving
brother-
the
She
shit.
was too young to drive.
I was probably 9 years old or so. But my dad's 6'4". My brother was 6'3". Mom's over there being her 5'4". And we could all sit in the middle of the El Camino and be like sardines. Or I could crawl behind the seat.
It had a little
And
jump seat back there.
No, there was not
Bench-
a jump seat there.
bench seat?
I laid on the floorboard.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
And so I was in the back behind the seat on the floorboard, and Dad would move the seat up a little bit. Then there was about 6 inches of space back there, and I crawled back there and rode. We would go to Grandma and Grandpa's house, 70, 80 miles. And one time we were taking a recliner to my grandmother, and a semi came around the corner, and even though Dad had it tied down, it picked that recliner up and blew it out of the car, the El Camino, and they stop, and I'm trapped in the car. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, I can't get out unless somebody lets me out of the car. And they go get the recliner and figured that it was a be in pieces and everything, and there was one little rock hole in it and they set it down perfect. There wasn't any damage to that thing at all, except the one little hole in the skirting. Took it to Grandma's house, and
Yeah.
I was like, still, let me out.
Dad had an old, I think it was from the 60s Chevy pickup truck, in the styles, and it was all metal and still cool. It wasn't a 57, but it was pretty nice, truck. And I remember riding in that truck as a child.
Was it an Apache?
No, it wasn't the Apache. I know what you're talking about. Those were pretty legit.
Yeah.
But this thing, I remember, had the big, long bench seat, no cab, obviously. He'd open the doors real loud, heavy doors, solid metal, tank. And my dad would let me stand up in the middle of that seat, and he'd put I remember he'd drive like, this is so cool. I never even thought about this in memories, making me miss my dad. I remember he'd drive with one hand, and those were the old steering wheels that had the lumps on them, the metal steering wheels with the lumps. And he'd put that hand right here, and then he'd reach around, and, it's like if you're sitting next to your darling, you put your arm around her, in the old truck. Well, my dad, he'd put his hand up on that. There was a light back there.
Right.
And he'd put his hand up on that light because as he'd drive, my head would bounce. And one day he took his hand down. My head we hit a bump, and my head busted that old plastic light out. So he'd always put his hand up there and hold my head, and I would stand up while he was driving. Man, those were the days. Can we get back to some of those days? Okay. I don't know. It's pretty unsafe.
Pretty unsafe.
Speaking of which, let me see if you can see this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna pull something up here on the screen. Let me see if this will work. You can see that right there. So, check this out. We were just doing a little research here. This is not good. All right, here are the first car seats that were ever invented. Look at that garbage. Look at that thing. That is absolute. That's so scary. You see that, Rick?
Kind of looks like a
Hook up some electrodes to it.
like an electric chair.
Yeah, those two things go on the feet. That right there goes around and then that's the little thing you bite on, and then there's the knob. Look at this, Mom. Oh, I'm taking care of my child. She's so happy. Oh, I hit a car. Boom, the car seat broke. Like, that's terrible. Look at this. Man, that thing looks like it's from space.
It might be.
Now, that looks a little more safe than the other ones, though. Although, if you crush, I mean, poor little thing, there goes its legs, you know. That's just nuts to think about. Oh, look at that one. Boy, can you get a haircut while you... Is that a barber seat for the child? And then did someone have the bright idea, see this number 3, to put a steering wheel on one, like an accessory? Let's add that, so if Mommy hits the brakes real hard, you slam into the steering wheel. Great idea.
They used to have those where you could pretend drive the car and everything. Well, I remember that.
Yeah.
We didn't have one, but I remember seeing
Oh, I
it on
remember
TV.
doing it.
All right, check this one out. Travel with the comforts of home. This is a little bed that you lay in the back seat. Well, that's great. That's where Crack the Egg game started. Hold your knees, little Johnny. Daddy's going to go crazy and drive donuts. With the egg crack? That's where it started. Oh, man. Okay, now we're getting a little better. Look at that one.
That looks like a modern seat.
Looks like NASA. They put a rocket. It's Rocket Man inspired.
No, that's the eject. That's the eject button.
Yeah, there you go. Boy, I'm wondering if any of our audience had any of these. Did you ever see anything like this, Kay? Especially that one.
No.
I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Boy, that thing is...
We were pretty poor growing up.
I want to build that one now.
Why?
With PVC pipe. Just put it in the back seat. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. Do want to remind you we are giving away some things today.
What?
How about 2 more tickets to Lone Star Lights? Only because you get discouraged when I give away Cafe Texan
I
gift
cry.
cards.
During the breaks, I cry.
So we have 2 more tickets to Lone Star Lights. This is an $80 value. Have you guys been out there before?
We are going
Been
to the
out
dinner.
last year and the year before.
Yeah, we're going to the dinner theater next Thursday.
Have y'all been to that before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
every
the
year.
only time we go.
Oh, yeah, y'all were here. Cherie was here and talking
It is
about
fantastic.
What
if
is
you
that?
haven't done it.
What's the dinner theater? What do they do?
Well, they have a stage, and you don't have dinner on that.
Okay.
But you sit and eat dinner, and they have a play.
Yeah.
What play? A Christmas type play?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
not last year.
Last year, one year was the reenactment of It's a Wonderful Life, a radio version. And I'm trying to think. I can't remember that, but I can't remember what last year's was. This year it's going to be The Gift of the Magi, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they're very good.
It's amazing, you know, one person will do like 5 or 6 voices, and when they were doing It's a Wonderful Life, you know, it'd be like I'd be talking, and all of a sudden my voice would change, and then they'd be the next character, and you know, they would switch characters right in the middle of performing, you know, and just
The A&D players, I think, is what they call it.
A&D, yeah. There'd be like 5 people on the stage,
Oh,
and
cool.
they did almost all the cast of It's a Wonderful Life.
Where was the B and C?
I don't know.
Skip those people. Poor
I
guys.
guess.
All right. Well, great. Well, hey, we are giving away 2 tickets to Lone Star Lights at Carolina Creek. We're not giving away Lone Star Light. We're giving away 2 tickets to Lone Star Lights. And that's an $80 value. It's vouchers that you use online. And all you got to do is text in that magic keyword that we have had all week long, courtesy of none other than Rick Boning, 0 Degree Creations. That keyword?
Gift.
Gift.
TFIG.
Yeah, TFIG. That was really good.
What?
How fast you did that.
What?
TFIG. Do you have a hidden ability to do that, to spell words backwards really fast? Moon.
When we were kids,
Moon.
NOOM.
Dart.
TRAD. Trad. See, that's a word.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I used to read the street signs backwards because we'd been up and down that road so many times.
Tispab.
Yeah.
Tistpab. See, I have to read it back. That means Baptist. I'm looking at a sign here. Tistpab. Tersurf. All right.
Well, some words don't work, like church.
Cellrack.
Yeah.
That's my brother's name backwards. Charles Cellrack. I knew that one. All right, well, we're gonna take a break. Keyword is gift. Text in gift along with your name on the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line. GIFT, G-I-F-T, to 936-339-0139. Again, that number 936-339-0139. We'll take a brief break. We'll talk more. I've got a gift for Rick when we come back. We also have Kay's Wednesday Wisdom coming up a little bit later.
Kay's gift.
That's great. We do have a surprise for Rick, though, so you want to make sure that we join us. It's going to tie into something that I saw him in just a couple last week. I saw him in something, so we're going to tie in a gift to Rick. We'll take that break, though. Stay with us. More to come. This is your show on a wonderful Wednesday, as always, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Childhood excellence here in Huntsville. Check them out online at tomorrowspromise.info. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
So, what's inside the mysterious little box?
Whoa, what box? Oh, that box over there.
You went to Elliot.
Wait, don't open it yet. Oh, and yes, I went to see Elliot's Jewelers just a couple of days ago.
Inside the box, is it golden?
Well, I was a little concerned about the price of gold because it's high, but Elliot really helped me find something beautiful and monetarily agreeable.
Oh, well, hey, can I open it now? Please?
Whoa, just a little longer. You have to at least wait until Christmas Day.
Oh, well, I can do that.
Elliot's Jewelers. Fine jewelry and engravable gifts. Schedule your appointment at elliotsjewelers.com. That's ELLIOTTS Jewelers.com.
Make sure there's something extra special inside the mysterious little box you give this season.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, Huntsville, thanks for waking up with us this morning. A little freeze warning, had a little ice on the windshield this morning, but it was nothing too bad. We're thankful for the cooler weather, and today is just going to be absolutely beautiful. 34 outside right now. It's actually got a little bit colder outside. 60 and sunny today, 35 and clear tonight, 63 sunny tomorrow. That'll be a beautiful day for the parade, which, Rick, you and Kay are going to be in. You asked me to be in it.
I asked you to drive one of my cars, and you turned me down flat.
I know. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to the parade.
See, Braylon would have a blast sitting on the back of the car tossing candy.
You know
she might have more fun
watching
the parade go by,
Yeah, I'll double check with Bridget and see, because she's working the crazy shifts now over at MRC, so that's kind of the hold up. So yeah. I'll get with her and kind of check and see. Maybe there's still hope that we could. Do you still have an opportunity, or
I don't know.
Are they completely taken now?
I'm waiting for replies back from people. It may just be me and Kay.
Okay.
Then I'll need somebody to ride in the back and throw candy.
Are the doors magnetic?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I mean magnetic.
They're metal.
Metal. They're not aluminum. They're metal.
Well, whatever it is, it's ferrous.
So that's why I love Rick. You know the exact words.
That means
I know. Yeah. See, I would have never thought of that, because my brain is like, especially now our second term at ORU ended. So now my knowledge is really going to go downhill for at least until the new year. But no, I'd bought magnets for my truck. Well, they don't work. Why? Because Ford decided within a certain amount of years, we're just going to switch to aluminum, lighter metal. And so they're not ferrous. They're non-ferrous metal. So can't put the magnets on the doors. Yeah, lick them and stick them. Well, we are back here. Thanks for being a part of it this morning. Many of you are chiming in. Do us a huge favor, if you don't mind, this morning. Please like and share this broadcast. That helps us so much. We're starting to get more viewers because of that interaction. Steph Valley of Magnolia Kennel, we appreciate you so much. Steph always shares the broadcast, and that means so much to us. But if you all can do like Steph, and that's one way that you can help support. Some people say, hey, I really can't sponsor. I really can't be involved. But we always say this. One way you can always help is just to share or like something on social media. That does go a long way. You never know who will grab onto that and their followers, and so it definitely helps. So thank you all for your continued support of this program. Keep chiming in, too. We'll get to some of these comments here in just a few moments. Well, I've eagerly been waiting this. I was doing a little early shopping the other day, Rick, and something stood out to me.
It wasn't me, was it?
Now, what do you have in that thing right there?
I have coffee.
Okay, coffee. Just regular dark black coffee?
Yeah.
Nothing, no, you don't mix it up, nothing like that?
I put a little honey in it.
0 Degree Creations?
Yeah.
Okay. Honey, like Jack honey or just regular honey? No, I'm just kidding.
Bee honey.
Little bee honey in there. Well, if you'll recall, I saw you at the Home to Sweets ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. We missed UK, but it gave Rick and I a chance to catch up, in our way that we do. When you're around, we can't horse around like we normally do. So I was glad you weren't there. Rick and I had some things we had.
I'm kind of wondering what you do when I'm not around, because you guys do a pretty good job when I am around.
I'm just kidding.
What aren't you telling me?
Well, you ever seen a southbound horse? I'm the north end.
No, just kidding. But I saw Rick there, and something really intrigued me. Now, Rick, what were you wearing at that particular ribbon cutting?
Hopefully clothes.
I was probably wearing a Tomorrow's Promise shirt.
No, go back and think about it.
I've slept since then.
You had some wool on there.
Wool?
A woolly type shirt.
Oh, yeah. I had a Grinch shirt on.
So it was a Grinch shirt.
It's a Grinch sweater, I guess.
I started thinking, I never thought of Rick really as a Grinch.
My granddaughter calls
him Mr. Grinch.
Okay. Well, this is perfect then. You're a coffee drinker.
I am.
As I was going through a particular store, I saw something that caught my attention. I immediately thought of you.
Because I'm a Grinch?
Because you're a Grinch. And Rick, this morning I wanted to present to you a Grinch coffee mug. I found this for you. I thought of you immediately. It kind of looks like you.
Kinda.
So Mary,
yellow eyes and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's got jaundice. Its liver's doing pretty bad. So I just wanted.
That's because he's not putting honey in there.
Yeah. So Rick, Rick, hold that. Let me zoom in on you real quick. Here's the Rick boning. See, look, it even kind of mixes in with your shirt. So Rick, I just wanted to say I thought of you. I feel bad. I didn't think of you, Kay. I've got
That's perfect for him.
I thought of Kay next week, but I just had to get that because I drove by, I saw it. And I said, I got to get that I thought of him. I told Bridget, I said, this is Rick.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah. So, Rick.
You might have messed up on that part. You didn't give it to him already preloaded.
Yeah, sorry, Rick. So, Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Why, thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad. I didn't bring you anything.
Can you do the eyebrows like that guy? Right? Yeah, see? Yeah, see? That kind of has you should paint your face green next week. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Are we going to be here next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, paint your face green.
No.
Are we going to be here? Yeah. No, we're not.
I'm not painting my face green.
So, anyways, it's a small token of my appreciation.
He's feeling sick. Josie will be subbing for him.
Oh, I forgot about that. Diabetic hip I've been battling lately. Like something totally made up. Anyways.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my friend. I saw that and immediately told Bridget. I said I got to get this for Rick. So.
Well, we had matching sweaters that day. She just couldn't make it to the ribbon cutting.
I was about to ask that. That was going to be and I forgot. So on the day, I was like, wait a minute. If Rick is wearing that, then you should be wearing it too.
She was.
And y'all were. Where'd you find those at?
Branson.
Cracker Barrel.
Wow. Okay.
Branson, Missouri.
So I don't know if the Conroe Cracker Barrel has them.
I don't know. We probably ought to go and see if your mother's nativity scene is there.
Well,
How many Cracker Barrels are we visiting?
Just one. Closest one.
I love them. They're good. Well, hey, so anyways, wanted to give that to you. Kay, I got something coming for you next week, so get ready. I don't know what, I have an idea.
I don't need anything.
You know what I've noticed that hasn't been here?
What is that?
It's the train horn.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what?
He lost it in the move.
No, you know what? Legitimately, I have no idea where that thing is.
I don't either.
It's funny that you mentioned that. It was not in the studio when I cleaned it out the other day. I totally forgot about it. Boy,
I remembered you used to blow people on.
You know what I'm gonna do now, since we're permanent in here? I'll find it, I'm sure, and I'll get the actuator for it, and I can just plug it in back here and just hit a button. I'll put it. Wouldn't that be great? Although
it'll be very loud.
But it is kind of better just to blow it manually.
It really
makes it something fun. So, well, hey, before we get into Kay's Wednesday wisdom, I do want to point out something. If you'll notice behind me, there are 3 beautiful wreaths. These are beautiful wreaths.
And that white one really stands out. On this.
Yeah.
It looks like it's illuminated.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's beautiful. I liked the gold one behind you, Rick, with the reindeer on it. And then there's another. These are just very beautiful.
Is that mistletoe?
Yeah, I'm over here kissing myself.
I think it's mistletoe.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, baby? So.
That's not weird at all.
I better turn this way because I was turning towards Kay saying that. Hey, Kay.
Hey, honey, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Here, let me put it above y'all real quick. But no, I wanted to highlight these real quick because there's a very dear friend and a lady who works very hard here at First is our children's minister, and she does things on the side. And I thought, man, this is so great. She showed me these. I said, why don't you market these and sell these things? Because she makes them. I bought one of these for Easter. She makes these. Hand makes them. I got one of these fluffy ones for Easter. It was a bunny. It was so perfect. And she made a Christmas one. These are all made from Deborah. If you would like to purchase these wreaths, she can make them for you. And it's a great way to support her during the holiday season and help out our community, and also a little something nice. I sent 3 to Bridget. And I know Bridget's going to like the reindeer one, and she did. So I actually bought that one. But she can make these. And so if you are interested in a wreath from Deborah Wyan, just let us know. You can text us on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139, or comment below and just say, hey, I'm interested in one of those wreaths. And I know she sells them on Etsy, and I believe they're a little bit more on Etsy because of shipping cost, but I think it's around $30 or so is all. And they're handmade, and so it goes to a really good cause to help and support her and her family during this holiday season. But they're also beautiful. And so if you got a few extra bucks and you're looking for a holiday wreath, again, Deborah Wyan, she can make these. So text, let us know. Say, hey, I'm interested. Send me Deborah's information or comment below. That number is 936-339-0139. and we will figure out a way to get you in touch with her. So just wanted to highlight that, and thank you, Deborah, to add a little holiday cheer here.
That one actually does look illuminated, but it's just reflecting the light.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's glowing. Well, it's because Kay's sitting in front of it. You know?
Yeah, she glows.
Someone messaged me and said, have you been around radiation? I said, no, why? Well, on Wednesday, man, your skin lights up. I said, it's Kay. She lights up everybody. That's why Rick's always full of
That's
light.
why I'm glowing all the time.
When I saw him there at the, I barely could see him. I said, Rick, what's going on? You're so dim today. He goes, well, where's Kay at?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. So
we were there.
Okay, a lot going on. Holiday season is here. Christmas season is here. And it is such a time to be joyful. I love the Wednesday wisdom that you provide during the holidays. Last week, we talked a lot about just the Christmas and different things. What is something you got cranking for us today on Kay's Wednesday wisdom?
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, my God.
Well, please don't make it be biblical because I'm still learning.
No, this one revolves around children.
Let me get ChatGPT ready to help me. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I mean, I've got some stories about Bethlehem and stuff, but I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
What is the number one question that children are asked at this time of the year?
Oh, I know exactly what do you want for Christmas? Mm-hmm. Is that what you were thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't asked Braylon that. I tell her what the meaning of Christmas is.
Yeah. But and the meaning of Christmas is
Jesus Christ. It's to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. You know, I know Easter is that, but it's the birth of Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I also throw in the resurrection, even though that's Easter.
Yeah, it's the finishing of the story.
Part of it, yeah.
I mean, there's only 33 years difference between the two.
Yeah, but it's the birth of Jesus Christ when he was born at Bethlehem, and that's what I'm teaching Braylon what Christmas is about, because she loves the light. Do you see the lights? And she loves the lights and all that. But I said the focus is on Jesus Christ, sweetheart.
Right.
And then she goes, "Does Jesus love me, Daddy?" She said that Jesus loves me, Daddy. I said, "Yeah, he does," because we talk about that every night.
And so, what do people do at Christmas time?
Open gifts.
Okay.
Eat.
Gifts.
Vape.
So why do we have gifts at Christmas time?
Because of the 3 wise men who brought gifts to Jesus, right? I mean, some people see it that way.
Somewhat, but what was Jesus to us?
Our Savior.
The greatest gifts we ever received.
Number 1 gift ever.
So when we're asking a child what do they want for Christmas, we're not really teaching that child anything except gimme, gimme, gimme.
Mm.
And
give me back that Grinch. No, I'm just kidding.
But all around, and everybody complains about children, and now, some of the Me Too generation and things like that. Everybody complains that nobody has any empathy. Nobody can put themselves in somebody else's shoes. Their empathy is lacking. We need more of that. We need more compassion. We need more. It starts with, what can you give Mommy for Christmas? What could you do for Mommy?
Or Daddy.
Well, I'm pretending to be him asking Braylon, what could you, Jesus was our greatest gift, and we celebrate Christmas and we have gifts under the tree because that's representing the fact that he was the greatest gift to us. And so we celebrate by giving gifts to each other. But what can you give? And what can you give, you're teaching them empathy, and you're teaching them putting themselves in Mommy's shoes or Daddy's shoes or their friends, or what can I do for somebody else?
Or what should we do for Mama? Like, I should ask Braylon that. What do you want to do for Mommy for Christmas?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just say, what do you want me to buy Mommy for Christmas? And she says perfume. Is she doing anything?
It's what do you want to do for Mommy?
And so she could say something as simple as, I want to give Mommy a hug.
Perfect. That's easy on my wallet. I would love that.
It's not what you're giving, Bridget. It's what
That's what Braylon's giving.
But, you could even sit down and write down 5 things that she could give Mommy and write it on a card, and then have Braylon kind of sign her name and say, here's the 5 things that I want to give Mommy for Christmas.
Yeah, I love that.
And that would mean so much to a mommy for their child to think, sit there and think about, my child actually sat down and thought about what I would like for Christmas from them. What could they give for me? And I mean, even it could be a hug. It could be I'll unload the dishwasher. I'll, pick up my toys and, or I'll take out the trash, or just depending on what age of the child is. But
I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here kind of chuckling because Braylon does not like Santa Claus. Doesn't like him. I don't know what.
Has you met him?
Yeah, we went to Lone Star Light. She's screaming. Didn't like him.
Well,
Santa Jamie?
you're asking somebody, a little child, to sit on some stranger's
Yeah, it
lap.
makes sense,
I mean,
right?
come on, you're supposed to be teaching them not to.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's and then you want them to go sit on a stranger's lap and tell them, what they want for Christmas, kind of thing. I mean,
well,
think about that from their standpoint. They're also really confused. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to talk to strangers, but then da-da-da.
But here's what's great about this. We were talking to her, and she understands that there's presents involved in Christmas. And Bridget they were talking back. It's so cool because you have like conversations with our 3-year-old. It's awesome. I love it. She goes, I don't like Santa, Daddy. I said, well, that's okay, baby. I said, he's a nice guy.
He really is.
He's a nice guy.
I know him personally.
He's pretty nice. The Santa here's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And she goes, he brings presents? I said, yeah, he brings presents. And then she goes, well, he can keep them. That's exactly what she said.
Wow.
And I turned around, and I kind of looked in my wallet, and there's nothing in there. And then I looked back. I said, yes. I'm just kidding. But it was hilarious, though, because she straight up said, oh, he can keep them. Like, she yelled it. She was mad about it. So, and then we asked, what do you want? What would you like for Christmas? We asked the bad question, right? She goes, rocks and sticks. I said, perfect. So it's going to be a great Christmas. Didn't cost us anything this year. It's wonderful.
I don't know what the rocks might. You live at Elkins Lake.
But yeah. But no, I think that's so good, Kay, because, as a parent, I want to, obviously I want my child to understand the meaning of Christmas and the birth of Christ, and the story goes on about the resurrection. But I want her to understand that core principle. And what you just said is so meaningful, to ask her, what do you want to give Mommy? What do you want to give so-and-so for Christmas?
Yeah. It starts at her age, teaching her that spirit of giving.
I know children, when they grow up, they kind of go their own way and do their own thing. But the things that you say, we do as parents do have a heavy influence on our children. Now, we can't control everything, but we can definitely plant a seed, especially as they get older. And I want my children, I don't know, it's just like this morning, Braylon got up at 4 a.m. She's starting to sleep in the big bed in her room now, which is great. But she gets up sometimes. I don't mind. 4 o'clock in the morning, she wakes up and wants to hop in her bed. That's fine. I don't, it's not a big deal. Now, if it was like 11 p.m., I'd be like, no, get back in your room, because she's going to be up pretty quick anyways. But I remember this morning she did it. She came in the room. She's all happy and jumped into bed, and I put her in between Bridget and I. And I just sat there. I was waking up anyways, and I just sat there and I looked at her, and she fell back asleep right away. She was really tired. And I started thinking, my goodness, what a miracle.
Yeah.
What an absolute miracle. And that's for anybody. And I want that to be some inspiration. You are a miracle. Well, no matter what you're going through in life, the fact that God chose you to be here on this earth proves that you're a miracle and that he works miracles. I say this, life in itself is a miracle. The fact that we're breathing, that we're able to be upright, not even that, just the fact that we can take a breath is a miracle in itself. And it's really put things into a new perspective for me when our pastor said this. For the longest time, I was chasing a career, because we all have dreams and desires, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's, what are the dreams and desires that the good Lord has for us? And it like blew my mind open. And I was thinking of that this morning when I saw Braylon. I said, Lord, allow your dreams and desires for my little girl to pass through her life. And if there's something that I need to do to help her in that, let me know what that is. And it's so cool to have this new perspective on life now. Children, as you know, change your life immediately. You hear it from parents all the time, and before you have children, they'll change your world. And I'm sitting there thinking, my world's going to continue the way it is. No, it ain't. Nope. All of a sudden, that little one.
Now means now. Now does not mean 5 minutes from now.
And it's funny because I told Braylon last night she was wanting something. I said, baby, you're going to have to wait. Daddy don't have two different bodies that can bounce all over the house. And you're right. Now means now. She was wanting some shirt. She's like, Daddy, I need it now. And I was like, are you J.G. Wentworth over here? It's my shirt and I want it now.
Oh, my.
That's a good opportunity to teach patience.
Yeah, that commercial doesn't teach patience.
No, it doesn't.
When that is the most detrimental commercial to a child's life. You turn that J.G. Wentworth off. But anyways, it is funny though. I taught it just as a joke. I taught Braylon. She when she was little, she doesn't do it too much anymore. But she'd come up to the table and she'd start slapping her hand on the table and she'd go, "It's my birthday money and I want it now." And I should have recorded her saying that. Now that's not good teaching as a kid.
No. I wonder how many sets of parents have never had their child sleep in the bed with them.
Yeah, I mean every parent has to. You know, I know of someone, they call it like co-sleeping. Their kids sleep with them all the time. It's like whatever. You know, for me, I know that one day is going to come the day where she's not going to do that. She's going to grow up and she's not going to want to jump in bed with mommy and daddy. Mm-hmm. And so I'm enjoying every single moment that I can.
Always a good decision.
Based on what everyone else has told me. That's what I've heard. So now, if it's in Bridget's family's case, that won't go away. All the girls still pile in the bed with mom. So, yeah. And even I'll go in there and I'll like Miss Bryn will be watching TV and I'll go in there. She'll call me Robbie Baby and she goes, "Robbie Baby, come in here and watch Lifetime with me." So I go in there and sit down and watch TV with her. You know, because she's used to that. Her children are always. That's the way. And I know that's the way Bridget's going to be with our children. But that's the dad that I want to be too. So, well, great inspiration and great words this morning.
I'm a Grinch.
Just pull out the coffee mug. Get out of here. Drinking my coffee with my bee honey in it.
Yeah, right. The granddaughter that calls you Mr. Grinch, he calls her Emma Luhu.
Yeah, Emma Luhu.
Emma Luhu. I like it, Rick. Well, a couple of things. We are going to take a break. We'll call our winner here. We're going to wrap it up here in just a couple of seconds. Hey, on this date, 1719, the Aurora Borealis. Have you guys ever seen that? Mm-hmm. The Northern Lights? You ever seen it, Kay? I know we had a hint of it here, in Huntsville, which I've never seen. It was seen by settlers in New England for the first time in 1719. Think about that.
I was in Detroit once and saw it.
You saw the collapse of the economy, too, while you were there, too.
Detroit is not a nice city.
That's just crazy to think about that, but it makes sense because that's when everybody started coming over here to America. You know, the early settlers in the 1400s, Columbus came, but they did not see it until 1719. Isn't that crazy? Think about
the
that.
Eskimos were seeing it before then.
Yeah, and I wonder what they thought that was too.
I don't know, but there's Southern Lights too.
No, I didn't know that.
The Aurora Australis.
This is why we have Rick. I had no idea. Today is National. Guess what today is?
National Grunt Day.
Oh, that feels good. It's National Stretching Day.
Oh,
give it a try, Rick. Just put your hands out like that. Oh, that feels good.
You hear everything cracking and breaking.
Do y'all stretch?
Wait. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, doesn't that feel good though?
No.
I don't ever stretch in the morning.
I don't either.
Do you stretch, Kay? Like when you get up and you're kind of stretching in bed, or you just get up and go?
She stretches her back out.
Oh, that felt great, man. National Stretch Day. By the way, it's also National App Day today. National App.
What is a national app?
No idea. Today also Noodle Ring Day today.
SpaghettiOs.
Noodle Ring today. And it's also International Mountain Day. So what you do is you get a big old pack of brawny paper towels and you go hike up a mountain. Just because that guy looks like a mountain guy on the brawny. What are you doing, son? I'm celebrating International Mountain Day.
Well, he's brawny, so maybe he's a lumberjack.
That is it. Don't really have anything else. John Kerry, though, today, 81 years old. Can you believe that? John Kerry, 81. Didn't he run with Al Gore back in the day? Wasn't he running mate for VP? Remember that guy?
I think so.
Yeah, 81 years old today, which is
doesn't seem that far away to me. Okay.
Do you know the music group Bread?
Yeah.
Really? Y'all know them? I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Well, David Gates, 84 years old today, the lead singer for Bread. He's enjoying the retirement life and
70s.
running.
No, I know. What was their number? I
don't know.
Baby, I'm a want you.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm a need you.
That doesn't even make sense. Baby, I'ma want you.
Have you
Oh,
heard
come on.
some of
Have
the
you,
lyrics?
have
of
you heard the
today's-
rap songs you listen to?
These days it's Baby, I Can't Hear You because he's in his 80s. He's changed the lyrics. The bread was hot for a while, and then it went stale, by the way. And he's a bit crustier than he used to be. So a little bit
So
crustier.
Baby, I want you was. or
Baby, I'ma
that-
want you. Baby, I'ma need you. But I
Yeah.
don't remember the rest of it.
That was a.
It was a
very,
good
very
song.
popular
I'll
song.
have to look it up, put it on my playlist.
A couple of final things here. Very big news here that Rick's discouraged about Megan Fox. You know, the actress Megan Fox, Transformers, and Machine Gun Kelly. What are people these names? They've ended their on-again, off-again relationship, Rick.
Oh, my.
I'm sorry
That's
to hear
just-
that. I know that you are glued to TMZ. I knew you'd want to hear that one. They are done. NBC's The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, 2.16 million viewers for its Thanksgiving episode, largest audience of the show this year. And the night shows are losing audiences like crazy
Imagine.
because they're getting too.
Political.
And what's Webster's word of the year? Polarized. There's just too much politics going on. Back in the day, those night shows, like David Letterman did such a good job poking fun at both parties. Now it's really focused on one party, and then it's too serious. You know, as someone who, for me, it ended when Letterman, I quit watching late shows when Letterman retired. I loved David Letterman, especially when he'd do the letters that would come in and he'd throw them and the glass would break.
Yeah.
I loved all that stuff. Or he'd do the news, and Jay Leno did this too, the botched newspaper headlines. I've got one that we can't show on the show, but I'll have to show it. It's hilarious. It happened right outside of our hometown.
The top 10.
Yeah, the top 10s were so. That's what we need to start doing. We need to have a top 10 list here on our show, once a week.
We could do that.
We could come up with a top 10. I don't know what it would be of, but we could come up with something.
It's a different top 10 every day.
Yeah, I just don't know what we'd even start with though.
Oh, I'm sure Rick could come up with.
Rick, that's your homework for next week.
I have
for
homework?
next week.
Are we going to be here next week?
Rick's top 10.
It'd be a top 10 Christmas songs.
Top 10
Christmas movies. I mean,
Rick's top 10. It's going to be your list, Rick. Top 10. Rick's top 10. Kay will chime in.
Top 10 stretches. You know, what is the day that, you know, today's like National Stretch Day. So it's like, what's top 10 stretches?
Yeah.
You know.
No, none of that. I want to come up with my own top 10.
It'll be National
It
Belly Day.
does not need to be the top 10 ways to pick your nose.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going with belly button lint, but okay.
National Belly Button Lint Day. That's pretty good. We'll have to start that. By the way, Taylor Swift gave away $197 million worth of bonuses to her crew. Give her credit for that, you know?
That's
gave
a lot
away
of
that.
money.
A lot of money she gave away. So there's some of your things. Here's today's impossible question. Which colors do colorblind people have trouble distinguishing?
Red and green.
It's not even that impossible. That is correct. So there you go.
My dad was colorblind. So
Yeah.
was my oldest son.
My cousin is, and they make glasses now. Have you heard about this? These glasses.
We
that do
tried them
that.
with her dad, and they didn't work.
Didn't work for him, huh? Wow.
Well, there's several different kinds of color blindness, and evidently he didn't have the most common kind.
As we are near Christmas, Americans have donated nearly $560 billion to charities last year.
That's great.
Can I just have one? Just one out of the 560?
You want $1 billion?
Americans are the most giving people on the planet.
That's correct. And Wallet Hub has released its largest report on the most caring cities in America to show where people are most dedicated to helping others. At a time, especially right now, where a nation's very divided, Wallet Hub compared 100 of the largest U.S. cities across 38 metrics. The data ranges from the share of sheltered homeless people to volunteering hours per capita to the share of income donated to charities. Can you name what you may think is in the top 5 most caring cities in America? Huntsville did not make the list. It should be number 1.
I agree.
Outside of Huntsville, Rick, any idea what?
Georgetown.
No.
They had probably the list of metropolitan cities.
No. Well, some of them, yeah, but some of them I've never heard of. Number 1 on that list, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Really?
Most caring city, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
I've been there, and they didn't seem that caring.
Scottsdale comes in at number 2.
Arizona.
Scottsdale. If you live in Scottsdale, you have to talk like that. Scottsdale.
Well, you don't.
You could.
You could, but you don't have to.
More terrible Rob's
Well,
wisdom.
generally, statistics are is that Republicans donate more than Democrats.
Yeah, go ahead and make that political, honey.
No, I'm
just be glad that somebody.
But what's weird is are these
Some of those are
But
liberal
these,
cities.
but these are liberal cities. Boston, Massachusetts. Boston.
You do have to talk like that in Boston.
Or liberal states.
Boston comes in at number 3. Boston, number 3. Gilbert, Arizona. Arizona has made the list. Virginia and Arizona made the top 5. Gilbert, Arizona.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of old Gilbert. Gilbert, Arizona. I wonder if that's outside of Phoenix. Gilbert, AZ population.
Now you're talking about
275,000 people in Gilbert, Arizona.
That's a pretty good sized city.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Lubbock or Amarillo.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Most giving, yeah, it's just right outside of
And
Chandler.
what was the list on giving?
Outside of Phoenix.
Oh.
What was it again?
What was included in the list of?
Share of sheltered homeless people to volunteering hours per capita to the share of income donated to charity.
Okay.
Gilbert, Arizona. Chesapeake, Virginia.
'Cause I think the stat I told you was just income.
Just
money
income.
donated.
Yeah. That's a lot, though. And they said that $560 billion a year ago. Fremont, California. San Diego. We haven't even got to Texas yet, and we're not even in the top 10. Finally, at number 10, Plano, Texas comes into the mix. So Texas gets in there at number 10. New York is on the list. St. Paul, Minnesota. Lincoln, Nebraska. Jersey City. But
Well,
a couple of
like
things
New
there.
York just spent $657 billion or something like
Million.
that. A million for putting homeless in hotels. I mean, it's very just that aspect.
Wow. Well, there you go. A lot of them here, and there is all these people were chiming in saying they love that bread group. I've never even heard of them. Put some,
Really?
Put some
We're
mayonnaise.
gonna play the song when you know.
Put some mayonnaise on that thing, man.
I am surprised that you have never heard of that group.
Well, he's always bringing up groups I've never heard of.
But he's in the biz.
No.
No,
it's
it's sports. It's completely
No, I don't even know sports either. I'm ignorant. So don't start asking. I didn't even know the Cowboys lost until this morning.
I didn't know it either.
Yeah.
He worked for a
But
radio station. They're supposed
it
to
would
know
be a
all
pretty
the
good
songs.
guess.
Yeah, I was the sales guy, so I didn't get to know. I didn't get to study all that. But a couple of key stats, real quick. We'll wrap up on this. Fort Wayne, Indiana, has the highest share of income donated to charity, 3.6 times higher than in Laredo, Texas, the city with the lowest. Baltimore has the most volunteer hours per capita, 5.9 times more than in Jacksonville, Florida, the city with the lowest.
I can see Laredo.
But it's weird. But Florida, a lot of people
think that would
be pretty high. The
Yeah.
retirees.
Jackson down south, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Maybe they have a lot of Cubans there.
Jacksonville, Florida, though, has the highest share of residents who do favors for their neighbors, even though they're the lowest volunteers, 1 times higher than Orlando, Florida, the city with the lowest. Buffalo, New York, has the highest share of sheltered homeless persons, 3.9 times higher than San Jose, California.
That's because you'll freeze to death up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then Fremont, California, has the lowest child poverty rate, 9.7 times lower than Cleveland, Ohio. So just some key stats there real quick. Last question for y'all, then we'll head over to the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. I wanted to ask you this real quick. I mentioned this yesterday, Rick. I'm going to send it to Kay. You're walking down the street. There's a holiday tune in your head. What are you listening to in your head? What's your go-to Christmas song? What's the first one that pops into your mind?
Mary, did you know?
Nice. What was yours, Rick? Didn't I ask you this yesterday?
Yeah.
What was yours?
I don't remember. Because it's a different day.
Yeah.
That's fa la la.
That's it. Yeah, fa la la. That's it. You remembered it. Yeah. And that's all he said. He goes, what is it? He goes, fa la. Yeah, because we were talking about deck the halls with boughs of holly. And I said, bowels of holly. I said, man, that ought to hurt.
I bet it would.
All right, let's head over to 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. We have a winner today. 2 Lone Star Light tickets.
It's ringing.
I hear that phone a ringing.
And a ringing, and a ringing, and a ringing.
That's 3.
3 ringing diggy.
I hear
Four
your
ringy-dingy
phone
dingies.
ringing.
Lily Tomlin.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Well, you didn't win there, fella. All right, let's head back over again. Let's go 0 Degree. That come in? It's gift, right?
Yeah.
Is that this week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's head back over again. Give me 1 second here. Dun, dun, dun. I hear that gift a-ringing right around the bend. I ain't got that gift since I don't know when. Rick, sing it with me. Can you sing it with me?
No, I cannot sing it.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and I don't know how to answer the phone. All right, let's head back over. Here we go. I hear that gift of ringing right around the bend. You know what? I just started thinking this person, though, she probably gets free tickets already.
You call it Sheree?
Hello?
Is this Miss Nina Saucier?
It sure is.
Oh, ask her how she's feeling.
How are you feeling? Are you doing better, Miss Saucier? This is Rob.
Well, I'm having my surgery tomorrow morning.
Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to be praying for you.
Thank you.
Well, hey, I have a question for you. You may have texted in for those Cafe Texan gift cards. Is that what you were
Yes.
texting in for? Well, you know what? We were going to give away 2 Lone Star Light tickets, but I have plenty of those Cafe Texan cards, so I'm going to give you one of those instead. How about that?
Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, because I was thinking you're Mrs. Claus, and y'all probably get tickets to Lone Star Lights.
Yes. Yep. But I can't go this year.
Yes, ma'am. Well, instead, we're gonna get you that gift card over to Cafe Texan. How does that sound?
Thank you. Thank you.
What time is your surgery tomorrow?
7:30.
7:30. Okay.
I'll be
And
praying
they
for
said
you.
it would last about 4 hours.
Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to pray right now. Lord, I just ask you to provide some protection and covering over Nina. She has this procedure, and we believe in complete healing. Be with her and the doctors. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, thank you so much.
Well, you bet. Well, we love you, Miss Nina, and I'll get that card over to Jamie, okay? And don't let him eat all of it, all right? That's for you. he gets
Thank you.
He gets enough cookies during Christmas. So
Right.
well, God bless you. Have a good day, and we'll be
Thank
continuing
you.
to pray. Yes, ma'am.
Love you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I knew she had that procedure, but we have plenty of those cards, so we're going to hook her up with
Good. If I don't get one, I think Nina needs.
Yeah, so we'll give her a $50 gift card.
She is a very sweet lady.
She is, and that procedure is a pretty big deal tomorrow. Yeah. So, and that's something too that I've learned. If sometimes you just have to pray right then, and don't ever feel bashful about that. I had a guy the other day come by, and especially here's something too. If someone says, "Can you please pray for me about this?" Man, just do it right. My friend Joshua Harris taught me that. And I asked him once, I said, man, I asked you to pray and you did it right then. He goes, yeah. He goes, you're asking me, so let's do it. He goes, why are we going to sit around and wait about it? And he goes, plus I'll forget if I don't do it right then.
Got a point.
So,
see, our small group sent out a prayer list on Monday.
Yeah, that's good. And then that way you know what's going on. Right. So, well, all right. Well, that'll wrap it up. Kay, anything else before we go today? It's been a fun day. Rick?
No.
Anything on the mind? I think there's a ribbon cutting today.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so.
I need to go to it if there is.
I believe. Is that today? Is that our friends over at... No, it's not today.
Yeah.
It's next week, isn't it?
I think so.
When is the ribbon cutting for the new... it's the John Deere. It's tomorrow. John Deere ribbon cutting's tomorrow.
What time?
11:30.
11:30. Yeah, and then it's weird.
King Ranch and Egg Turf.
They're having the ribbon cutting for the chamber, but then their grand opening is Saturday. So I'm really excited that they're here in our community.
I am too.
By the way, before we go, I drove around yesterday. I have some intel on some new places that are opening. I don't know the full details yet. If you're driving down 45 next to Wiesner, you've seen the construction over there. Maybe, maybe you haven't. That's apparently is going to be an animal clinic.
Oh, really?
So we're getting more details. There is a new Italian restaurant that will be opening where Wall's Barbecue is. I went and met over there, talked to a guy. This is a gentleman out of Conroe that has a very upscale Italian restaurant. It's going to be not as upscale, but it's going to fit more about Huntsville and the good scene here with college students. But that will be opening up where Wall's Barbecue used to be. Apparently, there is like a walk-ons, like that sports bar. There may be something of that nature coming in next to Texas Roadhouse. Over there, there's a shopping center that is going to be developed over there that we've heard. We need to get a hold of Ben Bias and get more information on that. But apparently, there is some sort of a shopping center that's opening up right next to Texas Roadhouse. Had some intel on that. And, of course, another neighborhood coming in right there on 30. We drove by. They're going to put in another couple of hundred homes in that area before too long. So there's a lot happening here in Huntsville. Also, where the Comfort Inn is on Montgomery, they are putting in an African restaurant right next to that in that new little shopping center over there as well. So really cool things happening here in Huntsville. So we'll keep you up to date. Michelle and I spent a good hour yesterday just driving around, and she goes, "What are we doing?" I said, "We're just going to walk up and talk to people." So that's the best way to get information. So we just drove up and started talking to people, and praise God for Michelle, because, a lot of the workers are Spanish guys that I can't speak Spanish. Michelle has a full, all I said to the guy was uno momento, and he just kept, and then Michelle was so sweet, and she had a great conversation with the man. So Michelle has been teaching me a lot of Spanish too, which is great. I'm going to miss her. Her last day is actually going to be next Tuesday. So
I'll miss her too.
But we'll update our website. We got pictures and more information of all that, and so we'll keep you updated on HelloHuntsvilleTX.com. Couldn't bring you that information without our foundation sponsors, such as Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. So get your children enrolled. More information online, tomorrowspromise.info, and that'll wrap it up. We'll end it with this, as I do every morning. Thank you, friends, for being a part of this show this morning. And as I end every show, reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until next time, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:30, here with Jason Bay. Ben, thank you to Tomorrow's Promise, and Rick and Kay, y'all have a very wonderful and blessed day. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Rob.